everyone, my name is Valerie Wasa from Kakamega, Kenya, and I would like to transform how women entrepreneurs in rural communities in Kenya do businesses by equipping them with digital marketing skills.
The Generation Connect Young Leadership Programme is, as the name probably suggests, about connections and leadership. Launched last year by the UN's International Telecommunication Union and by Huawei, 30 fellowships were awarded to young people, giving them the chance to turn their creative, digital, community-driven ideas into practical reality. And since they come from all four corners of the globe, that's pretty good news for the rest of us. Health, education, agriculture, governance, all of these are projects and solutions in the making. And frankly, the United Nations of the world could certainly do with a few of those. Well, we're here in Geneva this week for the inaugural boot camp of the programme. And we're going to be featuring 6 of those projects, showing off a range of the regional innovations on offer. And for the 6th and final guest in our series, we took the picturesque train journey over to Zurich, taking in Huawei's joint innovation hub in the city, and then on to Lake Zurich for a chat with Valerie from Kenya.
So the project is called Biashara Digitali, which is Swahili word for digital businesses. And essentially what the project seeks to do is to equip women business owners in rural communities in Kakamega, Kenya, with digital marketing skills, mentorship, and resources to be able to boost their businesses in the digital marketplace and increase their income levels.
And what inspired you to start that project?
Yeah, actually, I was born and raised in a rural village in Kakamega, Kenya. And so growing up there, and even just until recently, I realized that a big percentage, I would say 98% of informal businesses are owned by women. And unfortunately, they're not making the most of their businesses. It's really at a very low level, someone making around $2 to $3 of profit in a day, and even lower than $1 in a day. And really, Kenya is a very entrepreneurial country. And I believe that if we can tap into that more and better, especially for women, it can reduce poverty levels. So I quickly did a survey and realized that there's high illiteracy levels among women. And that also translates to digital illiteracy. Technology is really growing and advancing. You know, we now have Internet of Things and AI, but we still have women who don't even know how to use a smartphone or a computer. Yet technology and digital technologies can really boost their businesses online. And so really that was my motivation to start this project.
So what's the format of the digital skills training that you're trying to give to these women? And is it women of all ages that you're looking for here?
So we are specifically targeting young women between 18 and 30 years because that is the biggest demographic of women business owners who are in the informal sector and have highest levels of illiteracy. They're also the future. They are the leaders of tomorrow, to come, yeah. For sure. And the training happens in person in our digital hub in Kakamega County because of most of them do not have access to electricity or cannot afford a smartphone or a laptop. And so our hub has a few computers, 10 computers and Wi-Fi connectivity and, you know, like a classroom setup. So they come in and there's a trainer and it's really practical in nature. And yeah, that's how we do it. And it's really not like the normal formal education system. It's more of targeting what the gap is in the market and tweaking it through human-centered design to make sure that this training actually addresses the challenges and the digital skills gap that these women have. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of curriculum.
So it's very flexible.
Very.
But obviously there are going to be technological challenges and resource challenges even within that. What is it that the ITU and a company such as Huawei can do to help overcome those challenges?
For sure. One of the biggest challenges we've faced as an organization has been affordability of internet because it's really, really bad in rural communities. And so you get that there's not enough internet service providers to provide unlimited data. And so with the assistance of Huawei, we can be able to purchase Wi-Fi connectivity for, let's say, a year, and that can make it easier to provide the training. We can also pay for electricity access because the desktop computers are electricity dependent. Also, with the finances that we are getting from Huawei, we can be able to reach out to more women, because that really has been limiting us, because we provide our trainings at a fee. And so most women cannot afford these trainings. So with these finances, we can provide the training for free for people who are, the women who are really passionate about this knowledge, but they cannot afford it. So we are going to be training 50 women entrepreneurs free of charge, because Huawei is paying for them.
So you're obviously very passionate about this, and it's obviously critical to the future of the county, but also to Kenya more widely. What is the dream outcome for you 5 years from now?
Thank you. Long term, the vision that I see is increased income levels and reduced poverty among most women entrepreneurs. And so my goal is just that we can be able to have women who can provide school fees for their children. They can be able to provide quality healthcare for their children through their businesses, and more online presence of these businesses. I mean, if someone is selling handcraft bags in Kakamega, they should be able to sell it to someone in Uganda. And so with technology, they can be able to do that through digital payments and courier services like DHL and Fargo. So that's really the picture that I'm looking at, international trade. And, you know, right now we have East African Community, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Really, I believe they should be able to do business at an international level thanks to technology. So that's the 5-year plan.
Hello, everyone. Hoping you're all doing well. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from the globe. Thank you so much for creating time to join us today in our Generation Connect Young Leaders Program information session, organized by a number of the Generation Connect Young Leaders Program alumni of the first cohort. True to our word, we say that we are going to start at exactly 10 minutes past 6 p.m. East African time. So I would just like to take this time to welcome each and every one of you to today's session. My name is Valerie Waswa. I am joining in from Nairobi, Kenya, and I am also joined in with my colleagues from all across the continent, and you're going to be hearing from them shortly. So we have Sebastian from Guatemala, we have Rahaf Mohammed from Jordan, Emmanuel Mutabazi from Rwanda, Nuruddin Samatov from Uzbekistan, Roman from Azerbaijan, Mohamed Zaki from Egypt, and Nusaiba bint Mamoun from Bangladesh. Together, we are going to be sharing with you some tips, some encouragement as the first cohort of the Generation Connect Young Leaders Program. And hopefully from this project, from this session, you're going to be inspired to apply for the program. As you hear from them, it's a life-changing, transformational program. So in the interest of time, I would just like to quickly jump in. Meanwhile, kindly please do share on the chat where you're joining us from, your name, the country, what sector you're in. Feel free to share your LinkedIn account. I really believe in the power of networking. So without much further ado, allow me to talk about what the Generation Connect Young Leaders Program is. So commonly known as, and as you will see on social media, and just to notify you that this session is being recorded, I'm sure you get notified of that. So I hope it's not a violation of anyone's privacy. All right. So GCYLP, as commonly known, the Generation Connect Young Leaders Program, is an initiative. I wanted to say an inaugural program, but it no longer is, because last year we were the inaugural cohort, and it was established by International Telecommunications Union which is the UN agency for ICTs in collaboration with Huawei. I'm sure most of you know Huawei technologies, either you've used their phones or the 5G networks and many other products that they have. So basically, this is the UN or the public sector coming together with private sector to put together their resources, both financial, etc., to ensure that young, passionate people from across the world get empowered with resources, financial resources in terms of skills to scale up the work that they do in their communities in advancing digital development. So I hope you all know what the ITU is, but if you do not know, kindly just search www.itu.int. Let me just leave it in the chat, www.itu.int. And the Huawei Technologies is Huawei Technologies, I think, .com or Huawei.com. All right, so it's the type of the program, it's a leadership program. The target group is young individuals, both male and female, aged 18 to 28 years. And the fields of focus is digital development. So digital development is really, really wide. So it could be from farming to fashion to whatever you think of, as you'll hear from the fellows, just as long as the end goal is enhancing digital development. Also you get an initial grant, the selected participants, which are 30 fellows. So last year we had more than 5,000 applicants and only 30 were selected. So myself and 7 other fellows that are joining here were the few who were honored to be selected. All right. So once you get selected, you will get a grant of $5,000 US, and the most impactful projects can get an additional $5,000 US at the end of the project. The project duration is 1 year. So for example, for us, I remember we applied in May last year. Then we had the 1-week kickoff session in Geneva, Switzerland. And then we kicked off, and now we are closing up. We are wrapping up with our programs. The application deadline for this year's cohort is 31st of March 2025. So if today is 19th, you have around 11 days to go. Eligibility is any young person between 18 to 28 who is enrolled in or recently graduated from a STEM or related program, emphasis on related. So for example, myself, I am a lawyer, right? So that's not necessarily STEM, but STEM related in the sense that I do tech law, tech policy work. All right. What else do you need to know? So as I said, the benefits, you get $5,000 US grant. You get to go to Geneva, Switzerland for a 1 week, but you're not going for vacation. It's a very intensive kickoff training session where you get to learn more about Huawei and ITU work. You also get to learn about project management, digital leadership. You get impactful people joining in from different sectors, coming in to just empower you and equip you with the relevant skills that will you will journey with those skills as you impact, you provide the training. Then there's also categories. So there's usually the Africa group, the Europe group, the independent states. We also have the Americas group, the Asia Pacific group. So we usually have mentorship programs that happen in those particular geographical groups and also the main groups, and that usually happens on a monthly and quarterly basis. You also get to have global exposure. Your story gets shared. I see I'm 1 minute past what I'm supposed to be talking about. So in short, it's a very impactful project for people who are passionate about digital development and specifically young people. You also get to be shared with other opportunities that are happening within the Huawei and ITU networks. So without further ado, I don't want to bog you down with so many projects, stories. I can just share the link to the program, all right, so that those who are interested in applying after this call, you can, don't worry, we'll share this via email as well. You can check it out. So allow me to go to the next section of the program. And if I may, also allow me to share my screen so that we are all on the same page as to what the next session is. Can I get some thumbs up if you're inspired already? Thumbs up. Let me see some energy in the room. How many people are encouraged and they're passionate about digital development? Thank you so much. And I hope that we are going, to meet your expectations. I can see hands have been raised already. So don't worry, we are going to address your questions very shortly. Okay. So the next session is, I would like us now to talk to the Generation Connect alumni. So actually, you know what? Let's co-create. Let me just add the image of the fellows into this document so that you can see the faces, but some of them are gonna turn their cameras on so that you can, connect with them. All right. So can you see that? Yes. All right. So we are gonna hear from the Generation Connect Young Leaders Programs alumni and just hear what is their inspiration. It's been almost 1 year since we all met in Geneva, and we went to a boat ride and we went to Zurich and we got grants and we've done our projects in our different countries and communities. So what? How has it helped them? So I would allow me to just jump into it to let us hear from them. Please prepare your questions. Kindly do prepare them. Just raise your hand, or if you're not confident enough, you can also share it on the chat screen. So I'm gonna start. We are going to go all the way to Jordan, and I want to give it to Ms. Rahaf Mohammed, who is going to share with us in just around 2 minutes what has been her personal experiences, key learnings, and impact from the project. So I'm going to stop.
Thank you so much.
Over to you, Rahaf. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this amazing introduction. Hello, all. I'm so happy to be here with you and looking forward to see all of you the next GCYLP fellows with the ITU and with Huawei. I'm Rafa Mayale. I'm from Jordan. I was one of the participants from Jordan. I'm the only girl from Jordan, actually, because it's the only one. So I had an amazing experience since it was my first fellowship globally. So it was very amazing for me building my skills, especially when we are talking about technology and when we are talking about community projects. Since I have my project, which is Epsecure Go, so this amazing fellowship helped me to implement a lot of activities in my community for my project. So this was amazing, actually, to give back to your community, to implement activities that have an impact to your community. And I know all of you have an amazing project, have an amazing activity that you will implement when you will be accepted, inshallah. So my advice for all of you, based on my experience with the program, please focus in your project, focus in the impact, do amazing activities, and don't do a project just for a lifestyle or prestigious thing. Do a project that already your community, they need this project, they need it. Since my colleague Valeria shared that the project she implement, there is a need for it. So please always focus on the need of your community before you implement your project, because they are always looking for an impact. And please, before you come to the Switzerland, do your research. There is an amazing places to visit there. And this is actually my personal advice and my personal respect from the program. And looking forward to it all from all of you. And I will put my LinkedIn in the chat box, and I will put also the LinkedIn for my project, and looking forward to connect with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahaf. Thank you so much for your insights. So without much further ado, I would just like to move to the next fellow, and in the spirit of gender equality. And let's see which region we are moving to. All right. How about we go to Europe? Am I right? Is it in Europe? Is Uzbekistan in Europe or in Asia Pacific, Nuruddin? Please let me know.
Hello, Valerie. Thank you so much. Actually, Uzbekistan is located in Central Asia. It's very center of Central Asia. And we are one of the double landlocked countries in the world. One is in Europe, actually, is Liechtenstein, and the second one is Uzbekistan. So yeah, my personal experience and impacts from the GCYLP program is being a Generation Connect Young Leadership Program fellow has been a transformative journey for me. First of all, I got to know a lot of insights from the mentors, from the the experts, and got to know a lot of like experts from the Huawei and the ITU, and had a chance to visit Switzerland, Geneva, and Zurich, and the R&D center of the Huawei for Europe, and it was the program. It was very invaluable and learning experience with mentorship and the funding opportunity, and to scale my digital development initiatives. And I had a chance to implement my own project, and could bring impact to around 250 plus people in my local community. So it was really inspiring and transformative program. And on the other hand, it was about connections with other fellows from all corners of the world. So and get to know about the other, like the continents, and the opportunities and the inclusion in the digital world. So I apologize for my background noise. Again, I got to learn about what's the global issues nowadays, and how ITU and like the international companies like Huawei are contributing and tackling those issues and covering those digital divides. So, and also, I would like to a bit share about maybe tips on how to apply. Maybe most of the guys are really into it, to hear about the key things to consider when applying for the GCYLP. Valerie, do I got time like for
Yeah,
1 minute?
you
Yeah.
know, you can just combine it. So go ahead
Okay.
and share your tips. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So you are apparently planning to apply for the GCYLP program, and here are some key points you should keep in mind. One is like the understanding the purpose of the program. As the Valerie already mentioned, the frequently asked questions and the tips for the applying, and I also want to add up something quickly. So the GCYLP program is mainly designed for young leaders and who want to drive digital transformation in their communities. So, so if your background is not like the STEM field, like science, medicine, or engineering, or mathematics, uh, like the STEM field, so you are also eligible to apply for the program. And the important thing is to like bring something unique and innovative, and also like include like the digital technology in your project. So this is very important part. Let's say you are like in education field or healthcare, cybersecurity, climate change, or like the environmental science, whatever. You should like use digital technology to solve real world issues. So, and also show how you can implement it within the provided funding. So not to like the bragging, show off like the talking about like the transformative things in the like the world changing things, not like the too much things, but to show how you can implement the funding within your project. And also like the keep responses concise and impactful. Avoid unnecessary details, and structure your answers well. Start with the problems, then show your solutions and impact. So the impact is the most important thing. So you use, for example, data like as existing problems. Like you can draw like the problem tree and the core problem, and then also like the split into the other like the small problems. Then you can show like your solution and the impact, how to tackle the issue. So you are also like very encouraged to like use like your personal experience, for example, when applying, or like the stories to like make the application more successful. And also, if you are selected, you will need to provide like very quickly like your documents. For example, your ID, and also you are required to provide like the 2-minute video interview. They send you like the video, so you answer like those like the questions as like the interview format, and then like the 2 references from your respective organizations, maybe from a university, maybe from your workplace, but it should be very swiftly, very quickly, because like the last year, I remember like the application process was very competitive, like the more than 5,000 applicants, and then like they were shortlisted up to down to 150, and then like the who quickly submitted their documents, they got selected. So this is like the second phase. So it's also very key to keep in mind. And also like the global jury will assess the applications based on innovation, feasibility, impact, and leadership potential. So this is also very important to keep in mind. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nuruddin. That is very, very helpful. Can we have some virtual claps for Nuruddin? Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I can also leave my LinkedIn. If you have any questions,
Absolutely.
please reach out. Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please do not leave, because there are so many more questions that the members would like to ask you. So I don't know. Maybe let's go to Africa. Yeah, let's go to Africa. So I would like to move to Emmanuel Mutabazi. I don't know if Emmanuel, you're there, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So I do have my colleague Emmanuel from Rwanda, East Africa, and Emmanuel, the floor is yours. So I think we are shifting it a little bit. So please do start in around 2 minutes to just share some of the testimonials of how the program has impacted you so far, and then at least 3 tips, 3 to 4, at most 4 tips, in the interest of time. And then next we shall move to Nusaiba and then Roman, in that order. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. I'm very happy and glad to be part of this engaging session with a good number of our fellow young people who also want to impact their communities. My tip or tips that I believe that has helped me from my end is the fact that the project should not be much on the on what you feel like it's easier to do, but most importantly, what you believe the society needs. And 2, it should be more of impact oriented than just appreciation. And the last thing that I also think is very relevant in terms of project is also to look at the project that you can do best. That means the skills that needs the project to get it done. And 2, that means the experience that you have. You might be a student, you might be early career professional, you might be at any stage. I would really highly suggest that you pick a project that is linked, or maybe some sort of experience linked to the project that you're proposing. In regard to the application, I would also highlight that it is very, very important to also make it clear that you have specific projects. You better stick to 1 or 2 things that you believe are very important. And maybe as the project grows, you'll be able to implement the rest. I think that's the things that I would highlight. Then I'll be here to answer any other questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmanuel. I don't know if you shared about some of the highlights that the program has had, like any impact that the program has had on you professionally or personally.
Definitely a lot of things, maybe. I would say what I'm working on, I'm basically working on the AI and the blockchain technology. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to look at the possibility to revitalize the way of making and selling the electronics on the continent of Africa. But again, I'm this believer that it is not just building technology. At the end of the day, you also need to build the community around it. That's why we also introduced a part of skills development hub where we empower other young fellows in digital innovation. So basically, from my experience, I'm very grateful we've been able to empower more than 100 young people, and we've seen that it is not just a thing that works in Rwanda, but it can work in East Africa, it can work across the continent and elsewhere. So I would highly say that this is going to be regional and global in development in the future, because we want to take this not only in Rwanda but also in East Africa and across the continent. Thank you.
Asante sana. Thank you, Emmanuel. We'll move very quickly to Nusaiba from Bangladesh. Nusaiba, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Thank you, Valerie, for organizing such a great session. And it's a thrilling feeling to talk here at the first cohort of Generation Connect Young Leadership Program. For short, it's a GCYLP. So let me start by introducing myself. I am Rusaiba bin Kamamun from Bangladesh, and my another identity is I'm a student. I'm pursuing my BSc Engineering in Building Engineering and Construction Management at Rajshahi University of Engineering and Technology, Rajshahi, Bangladesh. Now let's give you a small brief of my project, which is Anandopat. It is basically an augmented reality based STEAM hub. This in our hub, we are turning the abstract theories from textbooks to hands-on experience, so that the kids, the students from high school can dive into the science, technology, then engineering, and so that they just don't feel like they are reading the boring textbooks. They can do the experiments. And now we are turning these by using technologies like augmented reality and artificial intelligence, such technologies. And these might seem like impossible or some like dreamy things, but GCYLP helped me a lot to turn these into reality. And first of all, they gave us the grant, $5,000, which is a good amount, and it's like a rocket fuel for my project. And they also gave us some training and online sessions and all. The most fun part is we all went to the Geneva, Switzerland for 1 week in-person training, and that's a great experience, a lifetime experience, I should say. We learned a lot from the other fellows too, as we all came from different cultures and all, and training of project management, digital leadership. They helped me a lot. And also, I am kind introvert person, so this ULP helped me to push myself out, and it taught me like it's just not being about loud. It's more, leadership is more about listening, then solving problems, and then we should step up when that is needed. So trust me, if you are introvert like me, you should push yourself and keep pushing yourself to bring positive changes in the world. And if I say some tips, uh, the project, your project has to be creative. Then it has to be feasible, and most importantly, it should be impactful for your community. And it's we all are saying the impact word more and more, because it's very important to be selected for this, and then you have to show your leadership skills and your past experience. What have you done, and what can be done with your project, your vision, your mission, and then you have to be fluent in English, because the whole training session, and that is the language you have to use to communicate with other fellows, with ITU members, and other people too. And also, it is great that we can meet with people who are in the same industry, and they gave us some guidelines to perform, and it was such an amazing experience. And after we came back, we started to implement our project in our community, and there were some one-to-one session with ITU members, and they gave us some resources, guidelines too. And after that, I took 7 workshops with our STEAM Hub in our country and impacted almost 350 students. They loved it. Trust me, it is a great feeling when you see the smile into the faces of kids, and the excitement when they learn new things. So that's all for me, and you all should throw your hat in the ring for the second cohort. And one more thing is, if you don't get selected this time, don't let this dim your idea. This one application can't decide everything. There's a whole world of opportunities out there, so keep pushing yourself and keep trying to change the world. Thank you.
Absolutely. Wow. That is very, very inspiring. I feel inspired. If only you could apply again, that would have just made me to, apply again. Let's have a virtual claps for Nusaiba. And actually, what she didn't tell you is that I think it was the last day of the GCYLP week in Geneva, we were supposed to wear our traditional attire, and I loved Nusaiba's traditional outfits the most. Nusaiba, I think I'm just gonna come to Bangladesh just to learn, or if you can tell us how we can get that outfit. It was beautiful to just see people wearing their traditional outfits, and just the diversity of the program was quite humbling. So thank you so much, Nusaiba, for those encouraging and inspiring words. Shall we move back to Asia Pacific / Europe? Next, we're gonna have Roman Sebastian. I don't know if you're there. You'll be next from Guatemala. So Sebastian, if you're there, please just. All right, great. Thank you. So you're gonna be next. So over to you, Roman. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Roman. I'm from Baku, Azerbaijan. It's a part of Commonwealth of Independent Countries. Basically, Azerbaijan is located on the junction of Europe and Asia, so we're quite an interesting region. And yeah, thank you for joining us. I try to be short and structured as I can, so I will quickly start with key points of the program. First of all, you can get a good chance to be a part of UN processes, because ITU is a United Nations organization. It means that you will be really engaged into different conferences, into different events conducted under UN. For example, in my case, it was COP29. In others, it can be different events, but yeah, you can really use that chance to meet people from the highest level of, I think, our world, our Earth planet. Second thing, I think it's just you have a chance to support your community. For example, you can have some ideas or something that can really improve your community, make some benefit from it, but you don't have money. So fortunately, you support it with a grant, and you can help it. You can help your country at least. In my case, it was the same. So I had an idea, but unfortunately, some amount of money was required to make it through. So fortunately, with the help of ITU and Huawei, I was able to do that, and I see like that kind of outcome from that. And third thing, you really become a CEO of your small organization, because first of all, it's a leadership program. It means that you kind of conducting your project, you're the main project manager of your project. Sorry for repeating the words, but the thing is, you have to deal with reporting, with accounting. You have to talk with maybe other companies. Maybe you need to have to hire people, and this all activities that you should do, and not all people are able to do that. So that's the first thing. But you need to get used to that, because you're boss of your company, and you need to work on that. And for me, it was kind of impressive thing, because really I like to manage. I like to manage different projects, and I found my kind of how I can say interest in that. And coming to the tips that can be helpful for the application process. First of all, as my colleagues said before, try to bring something that is feasible. Don't try to create, I don't know, time machine with the help of $5,000. I think it's not possible, but maybe you can, I don't know. Try to start with something small and do with gradual steps. In my case, I used a project that I already had in my mind, and I already started with the implementation, so on, but to kind of scale it, I just need to work on it more, and GCYLP helped me in that. Second thing, I think you need to consider real needs of your community, because I think it's mentioned even during the application process that there are kind of list of topics that are interested for ITU, which they want to fix kind of in your region. In my case, it was data privacy and cybersecurity for CIS region, and I used that topic, so it was helpful. And yeah, just believe in yourself, and everything will be fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roman. And to all those who are hoping to build time machines, please, maybe that is an idea for another program. $5,000 is not so much, and yet it's too much. So next you're gonna have Sebastian, and after Sebastian, next you're gonna have Mohamed Zaki from Egypt. So over to you, Sebastian from Guatemala. Thank you.
All right. Hey everyone. Hey, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Okay. So
Yes,
hi everyone.
we can.
My name is Sebastian. I come from one of the least developed countries of Latin America. So I'd like to ask first of all, foremost, is there anyone in here who's from Latin America or the Americas in general? Because I quite doubt it, but I still have to ask. I'm guessing.
Maybe they can give us thumbs up or something if you're from the Americas region or Latin America.
Sure.
Okay.
Right. So as you can tell, there's no much participation of Latin Americans in digitalization, and that's a very big issue. Such as small countries like Guatemala lack of digital leaders, and therefore initiatives in research in key areas such as digitalization of agriculture, which was my project, or AI applications, or breaking that gap that's been happening in between first world countries and least developed countries, just like Guatemala in AI. Thanks to the GCYLP, we were able to create a research framework to which people can benefit from by the digitalization of agriculture. We started doing research in ML applications of agriculture in a country that still lacks of internet in some regions. And I think that was one of the greatest things about the GCYLP program. For example, I was very satisfied the last week that for the first time in my university, which is the only public university of the country, the only university people actually can go to without paying, they started doing planification with drones. So by digitalization, let's say a crop field, you can identify certain features of the field and therefore plan for a better yield in the future. So thanks to the GCYLP, we were also able to train around 200 farmers and students, which incentivizes research, and also the community can benefit from this research as well. My main, I think, tips for the application would be understand the narrative of your project and understand the problems of your region and how you fit and how you relate as a change maker of them. In my case, from early on in my undergraduate studies, I identified that there was no research done. And so a group of students and myself, we started doing it. No payment at all, just by heart. And at the end of this program, we are currently being able to pitch our project to the government and looking for $30,000 to cover operational costs as well. So one of the other tips that I'd like to share is understand also how historically relates your country to digitalization. In our case, for example, I've usually worked with World Economic Forum's initiatives. We take, let's say, AI to places where there's no internet. So we teach people what AI is and how they can use it to benefit themselves. In this case, agriculture. We're currently working towards better applications of machine learning. We're building a wireless sensor network that uses machine learning to try to identify fertility in the soil. So I'm very satisfied with this program. I highly encourage you to all to apply. And well, I'm going to share my LinkedIn if any one of you is interested on the same themes that I am. But yeah, thank you, Valerie, for this opportunity of sharing my experience.
Oh, wow, thank you so much, Sebastian. I'm just mind blown, and I know maybe there's some of you in this room who are like this, especially women who feel imposter syndrome. Trust me, I personally, sometimes I just hear some of these amazing projects that fellow GCYP fellows do, and I'm just like, how am I in the same room, with these people? But I guess we made it there, and thank you so much, Sebastian. Your project is quite inspiring, and thank you for the work that you're doing to make your country and your community better. I'm sure 200 is no small feat, so thank you so much. Okay, let's go to the land of pyramids, Egypt. Mohammed Zaki, one of my very, very good friends, and we even talked to date. So Mohammed, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you
Thank
clearly.
you.
Thank you
Okay,
for
go ahead.
introducing me, Valerie, my dear friend. I'm really so excited to share my experience with you today. Um, Actually, if I want to say something, I'd say that this opportunity is really, really life-changing. Your life will be changed 180, because the first thing, let us ignore now the $5,000 and Geneva travel, all these amazing things that may be catchy in the first, but the most important thing that the experience itself in the development week in Geneva. This week is really, really important. You will have a sessions from a great mentors from the most prestigious places in decision making, in planning. You will meet experts from United Nations, different agencies, not just ITU, but ITU, UNDP, UNITAR, many things. I can't forget the amazing experience of visiting you in Geneva during our visits during the programs. You will see the ambassadors and the presidents and ministers of different countries. It's really amazing, actually, and you will present your project in front of um, a very high-end people from different experiences. That it's about network. You will make a network with the people from the high officials and the top people in the different fields. It's the most important thing, the network that you will make. Even with your colleagues or the people you will meet from the experts and the mentors. Another thing about this program, which is very important, is the investment. Actually, Generation Connect Youth Leadership Program is investing in their youth. We are the first cohort. They put a very, very good investment in us through continuous development. After we returned from Geneva, we had many sessions from different experts in different fields, in project management, um, in development, in technology, many fields. Another thing, they create opportunities for you during the period you will be a fellow at a 1 year. They will recommend you for different opportunities and different expertise. I can't actually I've made Valerie in an opportunity. I met Rahaf in an actually not Rahaf, who attended with me in China. Actually, many of other colleagues with me in China. They recommended us for a different opportunity to attend a World Internet Conference of China. Some of us recommended to another opportunity in Czech. Other people was nominated to attend COB and other in Cuba. So during this year, they are not just give you money and give you money and let you make your project. No, there is a continuous monitoring and development. Every month you will make a reporting for your project. Actually, this is from the most important things. You will be a really leader, a really project manager. Every month there is someone, my dear friend Faniel, will monitor your project. We will give you advices. It's not the most important thing. It's not about the projects you are doing now. It's about the people. You will be a tomorrow leader. You will be a tomorrow's decision maker. So the keen or the most important thing that they see in you that you will be leader, and they want to train you to become this leader. So I really encourage you to apply. You will be a great. Don't say to yourself no, and it's very competitive. No, you still have a chance. And another thing, a small tips in your application: make your project meet the ITU regional initiatives. Actually, ITU have make the global to sub or to regionals. There is Africa, Americas, Arab states, Asia Pacific, CIS, and Europe. So I'll share with you now the regional initiatives. Make sure that your projects intersect with these goals. This will benefit you so much when you are making or drafting your proposal in your application. So try to intersect by a way or another with these goals. This will benefit you so much. At the end, I really thankful for Valerie for inviting me. And actually, I'll share my LinkedIn for anyone who want to connect or ask about anything. Thank you so much. And I'm really maybe one day me and Valerie and other guys maybe in alumni alumni group and help you during implementation of your project. Thank you so much.
I mean, thank you so much, Mohammed. Wow, that's very encouraging. I cannot add anything more. Thank you, guys. Virtual claps for Mohammed. Thank you. All right, so thank you. Our fellows have shared their experiences, they have shared their tips. I would also like to take this time to just in 2 minutes share also some of the insights from my end, and then at exactly the top of the hour, we're gonna have Q&A. So we are going to we're gonna start with the questions that you guys asked when you were registering. So I'm just gonna pick some of them because honestly, they are so many because 100 and something people registered. So I'm just gonna randomly pick those questions, and then we're gonna hear from you. So if you have questions, feel free, get ready. So I'm just gonna randomly pick like maybe 10 questions, and then each of the fellow is gonna answer, and then we're gonna open the floor in 5 minutes so that you guys can answer all your questions. So for those who joined early, the early birds, there was a video that was playing in the beginning, which was a video that I was interviewed by Huawei for their Transform Talks initiative. It was just basically highlighting like what my project was about. So basically my project is Biashara Digitali, or was, or is, okay, it's still continuing. And Biashara Digitali is a Swahili word which directly translates to digital businesses. And so that's a project I was running under my social enterprise called She Goes Digital. And essentially what the project was about was to equip small and medium-sized women business owners in the rural parts of Kakamega, Kenya, with digital marketing skills to enable them have an online presence and also to boost their income and their self in the spirit of bridging the gender digital gap, and also to reduce poverty levels among women, which is a big issue in Kenya. So what I can say is, first of all, I remember when I was applying, when I saw the application, I applied when it was like 2 days left. I just felt like I don't qualify. I really don't qualify. And this imposter syndrome, I know you're there and you're like, do I have what it takes? I always say, and my mom always tells me this, just apply. No one is gonna beat you. Imagine what's the worst case scenario? The worst that can happen is they won't take you. Will life stop? Life will continue, right? If they don't take you for this one, you can repackage the idea and apply for others, right? If that's what you're passionate about, there are so many opportunities. So I remember I had this big idea, like Roman said, for like building a time machine. I remember I was sharing it with, guess who? My 10-year-old younger Gen Z sister. I'm also Gen Z, but I consider her more Gen Z. And she said, Valerie, no, that's too utopic. That's not gonna happen. Let's bring it down. What's happening in Kakamega? What are the problems around? What are you already doing? Just like Emmanuel said, focus on scaling what you're already doing rather than suggesting something you've not done before. And I realized that, you know what, women business owners, they need to leverage social media. And so I submitted the application. So as just to emphasize again, the application process is quite easy for the first round. So easy that you could easily overlook it. It's basically just, I don't know, is it 8-9 questions that you can actually answer in like 15 minutes. But I would tell you that that's where the trap is. Please, I would say, what I always do when I apply for any program, I copy paste the questions, I put them in a Google Docs, and then I sit down and think about the questions and do a draft. Do a first draft, do a second draft, do a third draft. Then I am ready now to now put it back into the document, because like for the GCYLP, they use Microsoft, what's it called, Forms. I'm not sure if it automatically captures your responses like Google Forms. So if you keep editing it from there, you will keep doing it, and then you lose the information. Also, please pay attention to the keywords. Pay attention to what the word limit. So if they say 250 words or characters, please don't give us an essay of 800 words. Also, another thing I would say is, so once you complete that application, the second round is when you're provisionally selected, you're gonna be invited to do a 2-minute video to share at least 2 references. and what else? To share proof of whatever you've said. So again, remember, this is a project that's targeting young people between 18 to 28. So let's say you're 32, and there's nothing wrong with being 32, and they ask you to maybe like upload your passport document because you'll be required to travel to Geneva, and from your birth date they realize that you're not within the age limit. That disqualifies you. Or another requirement is you need to be a recent graduate or currently studying. So if you finish school like 8 years ago, or you're not currently studying, then they will ask you to submit documentations to prove whatever you said. So you want to be as honest as possible. So before you even start the application, make sure you meet the minimal eligibility criteria. And what else? If I would like to share what did I love the most about the project, honestly, I mean, when we were in Geneva, I got to interview the CEO of Huawei in Switzerland, and it was very, very humbling for me. But of course, just connecting with fellow GCYLP fellows, and we continue connecting to date, as you can see, and just learning from people from other countries and everything. Now I know if I want to go to this country, I'm gonna, hit them up. We keep sharing opportunities with each other, scholarship opportunities, etc. So I would really encourage you that once you get selected, please plug in so that you can make the most of the program. Don't be quiet. And even when those meetings, the monthly meetings, the quarterly meetings, make sure you attend, make sure your camera is on as much as possible. As Mohammed said, there's those monthly reporting requirements. Make sure you do that in time. They adhere to the Swiss time. So you always want to make sure you keep time. And finally, there's something also I wanted to say, about the references. Actually, when you're provisionally selected, one of the things they will say is that you need to they're going to reach out to your references, right? So you want to make sure that before you put anyone there as a reference, you have talked to them, and they're people you can trust, and they know you, and they can speak to your expertise, your knowledge, and your integrity. Because if you put someone who does not like you, or you put someone and you didn't let them know, or you put someone but they don't know you in the light of digital development, that's gonna disqualify you. So it's 4 minutes past 7. Allow me to just go into the questions. As I said, I'm going to go, I'm gonna start with the questions that were asked. Okay, so let me just open the document on my phone. All right, here we go. So there's someone who asks, is there a recognition for this? How is this project going to benefit me? Is there a recognition for this? How is this gonna benefit me? So I'm gonna give that question to Nusaiba. And then there's a question that is asked, I think that I will answer myself. I am a law graduate, can I still apply? There's another question that says, is the solution supposed to be what I'm doing or what members of my community are engaging in? I'm going to direct that to Roman. The next question is, this is an interesting one. I think I just answered it now. Are there work opportunities and full-time jobs? Not really. All right, not really. How to structure responses during submission? I think I'm gonna give that to, I don't know if Rafa, you're still there. Okay, I think she's good. Okay, I'm gonna give that to Sebastian. How to structure your questions, and also your responses. Does it require one to quit his job? No. Let's see another questions. What factor are important to mention in my application for this program? I'm gonna give that to Emmanuel. Another question, must one have an unconventional approach to the development project that they submit for higher chances of getting picked? I'm gonna give that to, who have I not given? And I can't see some of the people here. So I'm just gonna read them out, and you feel free to now just see what to answer. Finally, let's see. What is it all about precisely? I think that is, we answered. What skills or qualities do you believe the program values most in? I really like this question. What skills or qualities do you believe the program values most in its applicants? I think I'm gonna answer that. And then finally, let me read 3 more questions and any of the fellows can answer. What impact does it have on participants? Surely I think we've answered that, right? I want to know if all the participants will get the funds. Yes. Were you scared when applying? I think Nsaiba should answer this. Were you scared when applying? How did you overcome your fears? What is the one word you received from the program and has stuck to you ever since? All right. This one I'm gonna give it to Roman. What is special about the projects? I think they're talking about us that were selected. What made us programs to stand out of the 5,249 applicants? And then what is the key selection criteria? What advice would you give to a first-time applicants? Let's start with those rounds of questions, and then we're going to go to those who have raised their hands. Thank you. The floor is yours, speakers. Whoever wants to go first. All right, maybe we can start with Roman.
Could you repeat my question, please? I think not only me has the same problem. Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna, I did also take track of that. There are so many questions. Maybe we can do a document with the answers and just share to the participants. Maybe you can answer the selection criteria. What's the selection criteria and what makes an application to stand out?
Actually, as I've already said, that you need to stick to the regional initiatives of ITU. I think it's one of the most crucial selection criteria. Your project should be something that solves local issues, and that issue is already recognized by ITU. So basically, you are helping them. You're not wasting your money for your own dreams. I'm sorry for saying that, but maybe your dream is the same as ITU. That's a good thing. And second thing, I think you need to be kind of social active, because okay, you maybe have a good idea, you need to implement it, but you already should have a good reputation. I don't think that people who were selected kind of didn't participate in anything before. No, they already had some backgrounds in different maybe competitions, in different events, so on. So it's not the first time for them to go and say something or to present something. So as much you have, as much experience you have with projects, with social activity, as it's more beneficial for you. I think, am I answered the question?
Yes, you did, precisely. Thank you, Roman. Next, let's go to Nusaiba. Your question is, were you scared when applying? How did you overcome your fears? And what is the one word you received from the program that has stuck with you ever since? Maybe we can keep our responses to 1 minute so we can have as many questions.
Sure. So as I had said earlier, I am quite an introvert person, but I have pushed myself when I saw the lackings in education system in our country. And then I thought, like, if I sit back and do nothing about it, it will like be forever. So, and as Valerie said, there's nothing to lose. So I have pushed myself and applied. And when I saw that I have been selected for this cohort, I was like, should I go to the Geneva or not? Because I have never been traveled to international all by myself. So then my mother was like, okay, you should go. You shouldn't miss this opportunity. It's a lifetime opportunity, so you should grab this. Then I went there, and yeah, it was an amazing experience. And I have saw another question that Valerie have asked, that how it is going to benefit us. It's going to give us training on project management, leadership, so you can implement those sessions, learnings from those, and implement those into your project, and can get the most out of your project. And another thing is, yes, you are going to get a certificate after completing completing your project. And also you are being recognized by Huawei and ITU. So it's a great thing. And one word which I have learned from the training is like change maker. I feel like I am becoming a change maker, and I have all the strength now, and I can change the whole world, even though it's impossible. But yeah, I feel that strength inside me. So thank you.
Thank you, Nusaiba. Thank you so much. Next question, maybe let me give this to Sebastian. And the question is, how do you get the best out of this program? How do you get the best out of this program? Let me combine that with, must one have an unconventional approach for the digital development project that they submit for higher chances of getting picked?
Okay, so first off, I'd like to highlight the fact that the best way to approach a project is with networking. Okay, one of the biggest collaborations that we've had so far is with the PMI, Project Management Institute. We were able to reach to the local chapter, and we're currently doing certifications with them. Okay, so part of the whole training that's going to be given to farmers and as well students is going to be supported by the PMI. That is one of them. The other one is for you to have the ITU as a bridge to reach to the government. Okay, the ITU works as some sort of badge that you've already done something so far so good that you can actually use it to pitch the project afterwards if you're planning to scale it. And in our case, for example, we're pitching the project to the government, to a research initiative, and the ITU has helped us in that sense, that they've worked as a reference that your project has worked so good so far. The other thing I would suggest, I think it was about unconventional ways to manage the project. Every project is different, okay, and the ITU understands that. As Valerie said at the beginning of the session, digitalization is not only about applications or sensors, it's about a whole tech area. And so, yes, you can basically manage your project on whatever methodology you would like. But you also need to comply to the reports that you're going to be given to the ITU as well. So unconventional approaches, if they're innovative, I would highly suggest it.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask the question on, as a lawyer, there's a question that a lot of people are asking, must you be in IT? Is it only tech related? I am a law graduate, can I apply? Yeah, so the answer is no, it is not. You don't need to have a tech background, but should it be IT related? Absolutely. So the idea is, as currently we are using technology to engage right now here on Google Meet, right? So how are you using technology to solve everyday real life problems, whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in the legal world, whether it is in music, whether it is in mental health, whether it is in climate change and green tech, or is it education, or is it you're helping accessibility issues with persons with disability? It could be just about anything. Just think of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, from healthcare. We have some of our fellows who are doing things in healthcare, to engineering, to whatsoever. But even my project is not even legally related, actually, by the way. It's about women business owners and digital marketing. I always say, think outside the box. Don't box yourself to what you studied in school. Just think about the problem in your community or something you're passionate about or a gap. How can technology solve that? I would say that is the biggest thing. So when you look across the project that was selected in the first cohort, you will see these cross-cutting issues from across a wide array of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. But one thing that is cross-cutting in all these projects is technology, digital development. How are you leveraging that? Does it require to quit your job? No. There's a question on if there will be a certification. Yes, there will be a certification of completion, but the requirement for this is that you need to have completed all your monthly reportings. You complete your final report and the final financial report. So you want to make sure that you're a good, prudent use of the money. Don't use it to buy a car. Can it even buy a car? No, it can't. Don't use it to buy clothes or shoes or whatever. You're supposed to use it to do the project and not divert those funds to solve your personal needs, okay? So at this juncture, I want to open the floor for questions for the next 12 minutes. Please do use the raise hand feature because we also want to hear your beautiful and handsome voices. We are going to start with Fegor. Fegor, if you can hear me.
Excuse me, I hate to bother, but yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Sorry, I would like to just give some additional points on what types of projects like stand out give some additional points to Sebastian and the others. So a successful project, in my own opinion, can implement digital technology for positive impact. And also the quick tip, you should orient with one of the SDGs, like the align your project with one or more of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and focus on the key areas. Like if your background is not from technology, let's say, but you can still the digital device, like the accessibility, connectivity, internet access, and also if let's say you are from education background, you can the connect with digital literacy, cybersecurity with data privacy, healthcare with telemedicine solutions, or climate action with the environmental sustainability, and the ecology with the technology, and let's say food security with the agriculture innovation, etc. And you can also watch the videos about the projects of our fellows from the cohort 1 on Huawei's website, also on YouTube. Just the search for Transform Talks, and you can find the 6 more projects and the fellows talking about their projects, so you can have more idea on how they implement their the project, even if they are not from the technology background. Yep.
Thank you, Nuruddin. Thank you so much. That is quite insightful. So let's go to the questions. I saw the first hand. Please keep raising your hands if you have any questions. This session is now for all of you. Let's start with Fegor. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Fegor, the floor is yours in 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much, Valerie, for this section. So basically, I have 2 questions. So firstly, based on my ID project, I realized, okay, one of the winner already do something similar. So, and I have some idea of how I can be able to advance on these projects, which maybe a fellow already done. And secondly, my question is, I actually saw some topics on the ITU website, is it initiative regional, some topic there. So basically, what do you think? Is it these projects should be on that particular region? Can we go something exceeding that topic on that region? So that's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That question is gonna be handled by Emmanuel. Let's have the next question by Atukwate Tracy. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, very well.
Okay, awesome. I think he texted me, if I'm not mistaken, from my LinkedIn as well.
Yes.
So from my my opinion is that there is no way the projects are the same, because most of the time it is the approach that defines the end. Because you might have thousands and thousands of people working on a project that deals with digital skills, but maybe one is training young people, the other one is training women, the other one is training women in underserved communities, or maybe all of them are training women in underserved communities, but they have different approaches of tackling different problems. So my key recommendation in that is to look at the approach, the way you want to approach the problem. And that allows me to also infuse one or two things that would really help you to understand what I'm trying to say, because you can look at research, because sometimes we pick ideas, but we also need to look at the data, the research that informs the problem that you're trying to solve. And two, by having that data now, you are able to find a way or approach that will allow you, for instance, the approach might be from the educational background that you have, it might be the experience that you've got already, it might be the strategic partnership that you already have, or maybe that you intend to build. So I'm trying to say that the project ideas can be the same, but the what makes this a total difference is how you approach it. And before maybe that one is at the stage of implementation, I would have clarified that at the application stage, for you to be able to stand out, even if your project idea might be as quoted as similar to some of the projects from the alumni, or maybe similar to many other applicants, you need to find a way to articulate your project, and if possible, briefly attach it to your story, because most of the time, these projects that we are talking about would really make sense when it is attached to your experience, your community, your story, how you feel so much passionate about women empowerment. How do you believe in technology to transform this? What are the data that backs this problem? If you believe that probably out of 5 women, 3 are not accessing technology, then it means that your solution, for instance, as an example of what my, my sister from Kenya, Valerie, is doing, she believes that by giving access and digital marketing skills to these women, they are going to thrive in digital environment, but at the same time develop their businesses. So briefly, I would say that at the application stage, you need to be able to briefly attach your story and all this data so that you can be able to prove the need, and at the same time allow people to understand the approach that you're going to use. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, next question is Tracy. Tracy, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Thanks so much, Varari and the team. So I was asking about the passport. Like, is it compulsory one to be having a passport during the initial stage of applying? And I've seen Roman and some other colleagues have attended to the question. So,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Asante. Thank you, Tracy. We have a raised hand by Udofia. I don't know if I've done justice to your name, but the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for putting this together. I have really learned a lot, and I'm super grateful. So, I am a Nigerian who has been living in Bangkok, Thailand for the past 3 years, and I intend to execute a project here in Bangkok. I'm simply curious, could the fact that I'm not an indigenous of the country affect my chances of being selected to do a project here? And also, could you provide more details on the estimated cost of the 1-week trip to Geneva? Thank you so much.
All right, I think I'm gonna take that question. So not necessarily. Okay, so we have some of the fellows who are, let's say, Zambian, but they are based in, is it Turkey? Yeah, but then they still suggested to do their projects in their native country, which is Zambia, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that. I mean, this is a global project, it's not an African project. So if you want to implement it in Turkey, if you see that there's a problem there, you can do it. It could be something to do with the migrants or diaspora, or, you know, it's just any problem that you see in the community that you live in. So it doesn't have to be that you implement a project where you currently were born and raised and stuff like that. I don't know if I've answered your entire question.
You've answered the first part. Second one is, could you provide more details on the estimated cost of the trip to Geneva, the 1-week trip?
Okay, so the trip to Geneva is fully funded. So when you get selected, they will pay for your flights and accommodation. As to the visa costs, my dear fellows, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what has usually happened is you incur the cost and then you reposition once you arrive in the country. Were we given a stipend? Yes, there's a daily stipend just to cover. So like for us, we were given, like for the accommodation, you're supposed to pay for the accommodation yourself. So they will provide a list of available hotels and hostels, affordable, and those that are near the ITU building where the 1-week program happens. Then you get to pay for yourself, and then you there's going to be a flat rate fee of this daily stipend that you're given in cash, and you're supposed to sign the documentations and everything upon arrival in Geneva. So I would say you need to have some money to pay for your accommodation, so you can decide whether you want to live in a house that is 50 Swiss franc a night or 129 Swiss franc a night. But there's gonna be a flat rate fee that's supposed to cover your accommodation and incidental costs such as meals. So some of us stayed in hostels, others stayed in Airbnb, others stayed in hotels, etc. The next question, I see there is more raised hands. The hand I saw first was from Ahmed Ben Amor, and this question is going to be answered by Mohammed from Mohammed Zaki. I don't know if Mohammed, you're there. Also, I don't know if Rafa from Jordan is here. Rafa, are you there? Mohammed? Okay, I think they're not here. So Ahmed, please answer the question, and any of the fellows that would like to take the question can do that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Valerie. And first, I want to thank everyone who participated. This was very helpful. So my question is, do I have to have already started a project, or I have an idea of a project? Can I apply with that, or do I have to be like, let's say, 2 or 3 months into the project?
Thank you, Ahmed. For the interest of time, I say we take all the questions and then we can have the participants answer. So I think Roman would like to answer that question. So that question will be answered by Roman. Let's have the last 3 questions. Actually 2 from Dennis and then Abrar. All right. So Dennis, you can ask your question, and then Abrar.
Okay. So yeah, it is not necessary to start your project right now or already start with a project that you had before. But bear in mind that you need to show something that will be really kind of concrete in terms of implementation for ITU. And of course, it is better if you have something that you already started. But if it is an idea, just an idea, and you haven't started it yet, it's also completely okay until you express it in normal way with all requirements. Why do you need that money and how you're gonna spend it? And if you can express it very well, so no problems at all.
Thank you, Roman. The next question is, who asked that question again? Was it Ahmed? Yes. Okay. So next question is by Abrar, and it will be answered by Nusaiba. So Abrar, please ask your question, and we're gonna have
my question in, then you can combine that.
Sorry.
Let me just put in my question, and then you'll also add it into the list.
All
Hi
right.
everyone, thank you. My name is Dennis. I wanted to ask, now that Huawei are a partner in the program, have you found that maybe having a project that is closely related to their work, so saying something to Huawei Cloud or stuff like that, could it give you a higher advantage in the process? Thank you. And thank you for the meeting this.
Okay. Nusaiba, do you wanna answer that?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Dennis, could you repeat your question?
Okay. Hi, Nisaiba. I wanted to know, now that Huawei are a partner of the program, would having a project related to Huawei products, such as Google, Huawei Cloud, or any of the other products, give you a higher advantage during the application? Or from your experience, what of Huawei's products or ITU products gives you an advantage in terms of your project?
Nusaiba, do you wanna take that? Or maybe in the meantime, as she's coming up with the, okay, I think Emmanuel has to answer that. Let's have Tatenda ask his question. Tatenda, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you so much, Valerie. I just wanted to ask, like, what are the top 3 things that will literally make your application fail? Like, top 3 things that will make your application successful in your own experiences. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So I think your question is gonna be answered by Sebastian, and the question on Huawei Cloud is gonna be answered by Emmanuel in that order. So Emmanuel, do you wanna answer the question on Dennis' question on Huawei Cloud?
Yes.
I think we lost you, Emmanuel. Maybe you can try speaking again.
If there is a problem, I can also answer the question.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, go for it, Emmanuel. Then Roman can chime in.
Okay, so then this question is irrelevant, but the thing is, it's not really about the organizations, the ITU and the Huawei, so much into your idea. I would really highlight that they are so much concerned and interested to learn more about
Emmanuel, you're breaking, but what I'm getting, because we are running out of time, is that it's about your story and your impact, and not quite about aligning your idea with the organizations. So the next question is gonna be answered by Sebastian, and before that, Roman, do you want to jump in and also add input into that question?
Yes, just several words. Like Huawei just helping in terms of money, like money actually are sent by Huawei, and it doesn't give you kind of any benefits, unfortunately, in terms of usage of Huawei products. You still kind of, and I think it's good if you're gonna use Huawei products during the implementation of your project, but it's just an option. So you might stick with other vendors as well. And yeah, of course, you can chat with Huawei. Maybe they can afford you something. And during the kind of process itself, you will have a chance to talk with Huawei representatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. Sebastian, if you're there, could you answer the question by Tatenda on what are 3 things that can make you fail?
Sure. One of the things that I realized when reviewing applications, because I was curious, I don't know if any one of you else guys also Googled the GCYLP applications, but I did. And I became very interested that there were many people using AI instead of actually speaking English. It was kind of like translation on top of the record of audio. Yeah, that would immediately disqualify you if you don't follow the guidelines of the application itself. Because otherwise, how are you going to carry on a project where you need to follow certain instructions if you can do a video? I think that's one of the key points. I would also consider that you need to have 1 minute. I'm not quite sure how it's going to be this year if you get shortlisted to explain your project, and that's a very short time. So I would recommend you to practice early on a pitch of your project, and if it doesn't align with the ITU's actual purpose for this project, if it's just for it does not have social application, I would think that would also be one of the points. I'm not quite sure if anyone else would like to add to that point of being disqualified.
Nusaiba, do you want to add something about that? All right. So the final question is by Abrar Fayaz. Abrar, you're going to close for us with the final question. So if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Thank you, Valeria, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I have learned a lot today. So my question is country a factor in the selection process for this program? I noticed that in cohort 1, only 1 participant was selected from each country. So is country a factor in the selection process?
Nusaiba, do you want to answer that?
Yes, sure. So country doesn't matter here. We have, I guess, 2 fellows from Azerbaijan and 2 from Tunisia, I guess. And so they say that they balance the gender and regional sector. So that's the case, I guess. And they basically see the underserved community and underserved countries.
Thank you, Nusaiba. Yeah, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving us almost 2 of your hours. But I hope that it has been valuable. I hope that our experiences, our journeys have inspired you. I just wanted, I forgot to give this disclaimer, but I'd just like to give a disclaimer that this is an unofficial information session by the GCYLP alumni of the first cohort. So this is not a formal information session of Huawei and ITU. So if you have any formal questions that you'd like to ask directly connected to the application process, please do email GCYLP. I'm just gonna GCYLP. Okay, I think I got, maybe one of the fellows can help me type in the email at itu.int, I guess. So kindly do not take what you're saying as gospel truth. What may have worked last year will not work this year. Maybe the selection criteria may be different, even if they will not say. So, maybe geographical focus, maybe they are focused on different thematic areas, and just many other things. A lot changes in 12 months. So again, I'll just say, put your best foot forward. put your best foot forward and you'll definitely not go wrong. So allow me to just end it in one sentence, 30 seconds, my dear fellows. If you're here, please just in one sentence, give your closing remarks and you're gonna end this. So we're gonna start with Emmanuel, and then Nusaiba, and then Roman, and then Sebastian.
Yes, I will simply say that be yourself and make sure that it is relevant to your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Nusaiba?
Love yourself, love your surroundings, and keep spreading love and peace. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Roman.
Believe in yourself, take all opportunities and chances, and you will get it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sebastian.
Don't underestimate yourselves. I know you all have good ideas to carry on a digital project. I personally was the only person of my country in the ITU towards that first beginning. So don't underestimate yourselves. I know you all have great ideas.
Thank you. Nuruddin, are you there? Nuruddin?
Yes. Am I audible, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I wish all the applicants successful application process, and always believe in yourself. Carefully read the application requirements, and keep up the good work. Never give up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have Mohammed Zaki? Rafa? All right. For my end, I'll just say that if you have an idea, put it out there, give it your best shot. Even if you meet only 60% of the eligibility criteria, just apply. You never know. Maybe this time they're considering your country or your region and they're gonna take you for that. Don't give up and keep believing in yourself. Keep putting yourself out there. Fail fast, fail forward. And till next time, guys, thank you so much. Have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, and all the best in your applications. Emmanuel has also shared the frequently asked questions on the ITU Generation Connect website. So asanteni sana, guys. Thank you. Have a good day and evening. Bye-bye.